Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you all here and welcome into the Steve and Denise Smith Student Athlete Performance Center and the SRM Concrete Club. Glad to have you here for a very special night. This evening will be the 50th induction ceremony of the Blue Raiders Sports Hall of Fame. And that in itself is worth a round of applause. 50 years. My name's Chip Walters, and it's my honor once again to serve as your Master of Ceremonies tonight. This evening, we will be celebrating 6 remarkable individuals who've earned the highest distinction Blue Raider athletics can bestow. Across 114 proud years of competition, thousands have worn the blue and white with heart and grit, but only 189 have been enshrined in this hall prior to tonight. That number grows, and with it, our legacy deepens. Each inductee stands tall on their own merit, but together, this class represents something truly special, a blend of excellence, character, and impact that will be remembered for generations to come. So settle in, soak it in, and join us as we honor some greatness here tonight and do it Blue Raider style. So with that, we want to welcome, this is always one of the really fun parts, is we welcome back those who have already been inducted into our Hall of Fame. And we'll start with, when I call your name, ask you to please stand. From the class of 2024, the 1985 OVC Offensive Player of the Year, who finished as the program's career leader in total offense, Marvin Collier. From the class of 2023, a 1,000-point scorer and ranks among the Lady Raiders' all-time leaders in three-point shooting, Anne Marie Lanning Brents. Middle Tennessee's first female scholarship athlete and first full-time women's tennis coach, Sandy McMillan Neal. A 5-time All-American and Middle Tennessee's all-time home run leader, Bryce Brents. Of the class of 2019, this man guided the Blue Raiders to its first OVC basketball championship and NCAA tournament berth. Please welcome Jimmy Martin. Class of 2015, a 7-time All-American and the only Blue Raider to win an NCAA sprint title, Marty Scales. A 1,000-point scorer and a dominant rebounder, he led the Blue Raiders to 4 straight postseason appearances, Kerry Hammond Sr. From the class of 2014, a 2-time OVC Pitcher of the Year, and she still holds 3 school records. Please welcome Jen Martinez-Wright. A trailblazer who built the volleyball program from the ground up and later rose to lead as senior women's administrator, Diane Cummings Turnham. A member of the legendary Mod Squad from the class of 2011, he's the school record holder for punt return touchdowns, Raymond Bonner. This man was inducted in 2007 and still ranks second all-time in scoring average for the basketball Blue Raiders with an 18.1 point per game average. Please welcome Larry Stewart. A 9-time NCAA All-American. He was part of a relay team that set the fastest U.S. time at the 1994 Penn Relays. Please welcome back Roland McGee. He pitched the Blue Raiders to a conference championship in 1977, and the baseball clubhouse did bear his name. Now this building bears his name. Please welcome Steve Smith. He was the OVC Tennis Player of the Year in 1980 and head tennis coach for 20 years. Welcome back, Dale Short. 1963 individual NCAA golf championship He was inducted in 1999. Please welcome back Gary Head. Class of 1998, averaged 6.1 yards a carry as a tailback, scored 13 touchdowns in 1985 before playing 14 seasons in the NFL. Welcome back Dwight Stone. Inducted in 1995, he's a three-time All-OVC end from 1965 through 67. Welcome back, George Claxton. This gentleman starred in baseball in 65, 66, and 67. We know him as Coon. Please welcome back Kenneth Victory. Inducted in 1988, a track All-American and a member of the 1976 U.S. Olympic team that competed in Montreal. Please welcome home Tommy Haynes. This man was named the OVC Football Player of the Decade in the 1960s while still hitting .411 in baseball. Welcome back Teddy Morris. And in the class of 2011, one of the all-time great Blue Raider baseball hitters, he led the Blue Raiders to 2 NCAA tournaments. Welcome back, Mudcat Brewer. Very special welcome to all our Hall of Famers, and welcome back here on this special night. Well, our president, Dr. Sidney A. McPhee, he and his wife, Liz, are such great supporters of Blue Raider athletics. They are here with us tonight. I'd like to recognize them as we get our program underway. Give them a nice round of applause and thank them for all of their support. As you might imagine, on homecoming weekend, Dr. McPhee has a lot of commitments this weekend. He may be slipping out to go to about, 2 or 3 more commitments you have, something like that tonight. But he is certainly here with us here this evening, and we thank him once again for his attendance. Other folks we'd like to recognize: the chairman of our board of trustees we just mentioned, and a Blue Raider Hall of Famer in his own right, Steve Smith. Thank you so much. Also, members of both our academic and athletic community here on our campus, if you would, please stand to be recognized. And give them a nice round of applause. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a leader whose vision and dedication have transformed Middle Tennessee State University athletics. Chris Massaro, Director of Athletics. Since stepping into the role in 2005, Mr. Massaro has guided MTSU to unprecedented success with 89 conference championships, 3 individual national titles, and a graduation success rate of 94% that led all of Conference USA. His leadership launched the Bill Blue campaign, a $100 million initiative that is reshaping the future of Blue Raider athletics. And the recent ribbon cutting of this building is its crown jewel. From upgraded facilities to national committee appointments, including the prestigious College Football Playoff Selection Committee, Chris Massaro continues to elevate MTSU on every front. With that, please welcome the Director of Athletics at Middle Tennessee, Chris Massaro.
Thank you, Chip, for those kind words. I appreciate it. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful evening. And just to the Hall of Famers, thank you for coming back for this. This means so much to us that you come back, because you are really the bedrock of our program. And every success, every building that we build is because of your efforts. So thank you for coming back. One of my great privileges of my role is to recognize those individuals that have made the Hall of Fame. So the 6 that are in, man, what a great class this is. So Ann and Garth and Warren, Big Cat over here. Thank you for being here tonight. And the ones that could not make it, Ashley Adams, Jerry Singleton, and Kevin Byard, all had really great reasons to send their regrets. We will see videos of them tonight. But congratulations to you guys, and I'm so glad to see your families with you, because nobody makes it here by themselves. So celebrate and have a good evening, and we'll have a lot of fun tomorrow at the homecoming parade and at the football game and those kind of things. So this weekend is yours, so enjoy it and squeeze as much out of it as we can. So one of my jobs too is that I get to present the AD's award, and it's an opportunity to recognize individuals whose impact often happens behind the scenes, but without whom these transformational projects would not come to life. Tonight, it is my honor to present the Athletic Directors Award to someone who's given their time, talent, and leadership to MTSU in an extraordinary way. A Hall of Famer, so to speak, without necessarily being in the Hall of Fame. So I'd like to recognize Vicki Eastman. Vicki served, yes. Vicki served as the campus planning project for this beautiful building, and boy, did she do a great job. For more than 3 years, she poured herself into every detail of this project, guiding it from vision to reality. Her tireless commitment to excellence is part of the reason we're able to celebrate in this wonderful facility tonight. When you think of a project of this scale, you realize that it just doesn't happen. It takes persistence, it takes expertise, and it takes people who care deeply about our university, and Vicki embraced all of that. So on behalf of our student athletes, we thank you. It's only fitting that we recognize you tonight with this Athletic Directors Award. Please join me in congratulating Vicki Eastman. Come on.
Vicki, were you surprised? Chris, you did it again. You pulled it off again. Well, this year's class of 2025 has 6 very deserving honorees, and it truly represents the breadth of outstanding programs and the rich history of Blue Raider athletics. Prior to tonight's induction, only 189 student athletes have received this highest athletic honor. That's in 114 years of athletic competition. In short, it's one of the most exclusive clubs on campus, and tonight we get to meet our class of 2025. So just to kind of give you a little heads up on how we're going to do this, we have a short video of each one as I mentioned that they're going to go in, and as soon as that video is over, I'll ask you to come forward, you'll receive your award, and we'll have a little short conversation. So with that being in mind, our first inductee for the class of 2025, he becomes the 190th member of the Blue Raider Hall of Fame, Jerry Singleton. Jerry Singleton. Jerry Singleton forever changed Blue Raider history as Middle Tennessee's first black scholarship athlete in any sport. When legendary coach Dean Hayes took over the track and field program in 1965, he returned to his hometown of Chicago and convinced Singleton to come to Murfreesboro. Singleton's impact was immediate. He scored points in every middle distance event he ever entered. By the time he graduated, he owned school records in the 800 meter at 149.74 and the 400 meters at 47.2 seconds, marks that stood for years. A true trailblazer, Singleton not only excelled on the track, but also opened doors for generations of athletes to follow, leaving a legacy that remains one of the most important in Middle Tennessee history. Jerry Singleton. Jerry is unable to be with us tonight, but as luck would have it, a few years ago, he was part of a group of pioneers, some of those student athletes who broke the color barrier, and he made some great comments then that we'll show you again on the video screens.
My parents couldn't afford to send me to college. Coach Hayes offered me an athletic scholarship, and I took the opportunity, and little did I know what was all in store in coming down here in 1965. No, expectations were to just acclimate to my environment, stay in school, get a degree. The success just came out of necessity. The more successful you were, strangely enough, you were treated a little differently amongst the other athletes. Art, Willie, myself, we bonded out of necessity. On a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday evening, no sense in you sitting over there mad because there's no one else to talk to but me. Points made, points well made. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that common thread here. No one at this table came to MTSU to integrate MTSU.
It's fascinating.
Everyone came here to get an education.
To speak on Jerry's behalf, I want to welcome in Raymond Bonner. So give Raymond a nice round of applause. And have a seat here. We'll talk just a little bit about Jerry since he was unable to be here tonight. I saw Erin Hayes here, Dean Hayes' daughter. Dean came here in the mid-1960s, and from Chicago, he worked for a pro football team. And he needed to find somebody to start building his track program. And he brought in Jerry Singleton, and there had to be pressure on Jerry to be the trailblazer that he was, to be the first African-American scholarship athlete in any sport. Talk about what Dean saw in Jerry to make him the one.
Well, knowing Coach Hayes like I knew him, he brought in Jerry Singleton because he knew that Plymouth Rock wouldn't land on him, he would land on Plymouth Rock. And the days at MTSU back then, Coach Hayes was not only a coach, he was our father, he was our mentor, he was everything to us. So picking Jerry as the first black to perform on the track was major. And that led to the Tommy Hayneses and Roland McGee's and
all the guys we talked about already. Yeah.
So,
and it wasn't just that, I mean, it had to, obviously there was a heavy character piece there that he had to be able to handle that, but he handled that well, and he also handled his work on the track.
Well, Jerry would want me to say this. It's not greatness because it's only one great person, and that's Jesus Christ. But he would want you to say that he was a good man, and a good man delivers for God on this earth. And he was a leader for all students, not just black students. Stan Summerall, he was just a good man.
He was the right guy at the right time.
For Coach Hayes.
Yes.
Because he was from Chicago. He knew that if he was from Mississippi, it might have been a little different.
Right.
But he had already been in the process of integration.
What, you were an athlete in the later 60s. You were a couple of years behind him. For African Americans on campus at that time, what was it like being in Murfreesboro and being on campus at that time?
Frightening, but Murfreesboro is a city where you can be whatever you want to be if you just put your heart into it. This city has been great for me, my family, and a lot of other guys and ladies who came to Middle Tennessee during that time. Beanie Secrets. We made the best of a situation that probably a lot of people couldn't handle at that time. Being the first black football player to get a scholarship, that meant something, and I knew I had to perform. So other kids would have an opportunity too.
You and Jerry both had broad shoulders to handle what was happening at the time.
What Jerry did, mine's a kind of round. But,
Well, tell me what, and you know Jerry very well, what do you think he would tell us tonight, had he been able to be here, about what he took away from his MTSU experience?
he took away an opportunity to have a better life. And MTSU presented that to him. So in essence, MTSU made him the man that he is.
And he is again, the man that he is. He's taking care of his family. They have some things going on in their family, and he could not be here tonight. But we certainly want to wish him all the best, and he'll be able to see the video of this. And I would ask if you would do us a favor and accept the award on his behalf.
I would be much obliged.
Inductee number 191 from Blue Raider football is Garth Petrelli. Garth Petrelli. Blue Raider Garth Petrelli achieved a remarkable feat as the only kicker in Ohio Valley Conference history to earn first-team All-OVC honors 4 straight years, from 1991 to 1994. He would later be named to the OVC half-century team. Known for his consistency and clutch kicking, Petrelli drilled 4 field goals in a single game against Tennessee State in 1993. When he graduated in 1994, Petrelli was Middle Tennessee's all-time scoring leader with 280 career points. His streak of 100 consecutive extra points stood as a Blue Raider record for 21 years before it finally fell in 2015. Garth Petrelli. Garth, come on up. I was noticing in the video, the view is a little bit different from the field today than it was back in the mid 1990s. You made 100 consecutive extra points. That was a streak that stood for a long, long time. What do you remember more? The 100 straight makes, or the one that didn't go through?
Honestly, Chip, the one that I think went in, but the ref just didn't see it the same way I did. So that's how I have to
166 total, though, which that's 166 points. And for a long time, you were the all-time leading scorer in Blue Raider football history because of your right leg. So that's worth a round of applause, I think. So, you know, in this era of college football, we have a lot of coaches who are specializing. We've got, 2 or 3 guys that work with special teams and kicking and all that. Tell folks who your kicking coach was when you played.
The great Boots Donley was my special teams coach, so I got to spend a lot of quality time with him, some of which was not so quality, if you know what I mean. What did he give you because you were a really good high school soccer player as well as a football player, if I remember correctly, at Oakland, and to be able to stay here in town. But how tough was he on kickers and punters? And because you, for a while, you did all of it. You punted and kicked and did all of that. Well, Coach Donley thought he knew a lot more than he really did, but I was not going to say that because I was an 18-year-old kid that was lucky enough to be kicking for MTSU. So I just, yes, sir, no, sir, and did everything I thought that he wanted done, and it worked out in the end.
From what I remember in those days, that you would come to practice and the kickers and the punters and the long snappers would all kind of run around the track. Y'all would all stick together, kind of coach yourself. How much, talk about some of the guys you played with
the other special teamers and how you all helped each other out?
Well, we would have to be on the field an hour before everybody else because they wanted to get all the special teams done before the important stuff got done. So we were
Before the
out
real
there,
football players came out?
we were out there at 2:30 when practice started at 3:30, and like Chip said, we would get all of our work done, and we would do a lot of running and just kicking and things like that. So I have to mention my offensive line. I had some great guys blocking for me. I do not remember one of my kicks getting blocked in 4 seasons, which is a true testament to all the big men up front, some of which are still around the area today and I still talk to.
Didn't I see a picture of Pat Hicks up there?
Pat Hicks, he was another one. He's
All-American.
All-American, Hall of Famer, and I'm glad they put that picture up there because he's no longer with us, and he was just an incredible person.
You were a local player from Oakland High School. Was that a dream come true, or was there added pressure?
Well, this was my home. I went to Oakland High School and I played all of my home games here at MTSU.
On this field, yeah.
So it felt right and it was just home. So it really wasn't added pressure. It was more excitement to get to continue what I was doing for 4 years at Oakland on a much higher level. So it was just a wonderful experience.
Coach Donnelly had a knack of getting the very best out of the players that he had, and as at the time a 1AA program, which is now FCS, we were going in and playing non-conference games at what are now called Power 4 schools, and 1A schools at the time is what we called them. But there was never any fear in doing that because Coach Donnelly had given you guys the coaching up that week that you belonged there.
When we would enter a game, say with Florida State or Nebraska or Hawaii, we had no place being there in everybody else's eyes. However, we knew what kind of players we had, and we were going to go in there and fight the best we could. And from what I remember, we gave Florida State a run for their money until halftime, until the numbers started adding up, and we didn't have quite the many scholarships as they did. So
Same thing at Nebraska.
Nebraska, Hawaii.
It was 14-7, I think, at Nebraska, and we had led early in the ball game, but 14-7 at the half, and they started running that fullback in the second half, and it kind of started leaning. The field started leaning their way a little bit.
It did. I'll never forget Joe Campbell diving over the right side at Florida State and doing the old chop, and we were in shock, honestly, but we were like, okay, it's on now. So if
they were not awake before Joe Campbell got in the end zone against Florida State and he came up with the tomahawk chop, they were awake after that. Little piece of trivia about the Florida State game. You remember who the final quarterback they put in the game that night was? You happen to remember?
Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward. The next year we went to Nebraska. Do you happen to remember who the quarterback that went in at the end of the game for Nebraska?
Brooke Behringer.
Was it Brooke Behringer or was it
Tommy Frazier?
Tommy Frazier, and also the former Nebraska AD Trev Alberts was playing defensive end that night. So there are a lot of stories about those games. One other little thing here, something I don't know if you ever knew this or not. In 1994, Garth was going to be a candidate for All-American, and I was working here as marketing director for athletics at the time. And Harold Smith had booked Garth Brooks to play Murphy Center 4 straight nights in March of 1994. Well, behind the scenes, we came this close, Garth, to having an All-American photograph made of you and Garth Brooks holding the football, and it was just going to say across the top in huge letters, Garth, and then right underneath it, Petrelli for All-American. So I wish we could, at the last minute, and you never knew this, but at the last minute, the Garth Brooks people said, oh, he's not going to be able to get there in time, but I was going to work for you, buddy. So that was one thing we were trying to get done, but you certainly had an All-American career and are very deserving of being in this Hall of Fame.
Well, Thank you, Chip, and I'd like to thank the committee, my coaches, any Hall of Fame members, and anybody that had anything to do with me getting into this prestigious group. I'm very appreciative and very humbled by it. Thank you.
All right, now it's time to accept your plaque. Garth Petrelli, everybody. Inductee number 192 into the Blue Raider Hall of Fame is Ashley E. Adams of Lady Raider Volleyball.
Ashley E. Adams was a dominant force for the Blue Raiders, earning 2007 Sunbelt Conference Player of the Year honors and leading Middle Tennessee to back-to-back conference championships. She was named Tournament Most Outstanding Player both times, including a sweep of rival Western Kentucky in the 2007 title match. A two-time AVCA All-American Honorable Mention pick, Adams helped power the Blue Raiders to NCAA tournament runs in 2006 and 2007. In 2006, she delivered 25 kills, including the match winner in Middle Tennessee's thrilling 3-2 win over Louisville. The next year, she tallied 22 kills in a stunning upset of Hawaii, sending the Blue Raiders to their first ever Sweet 16. Adams, who played just 3 seasons, currently ranks 4th all-time in career kills with 1,455, 4th in hitting percentage at .335, and 9th in total blocks. Her back-to-back seasons of over 540 kills ranks among the best in school history. Ashley E. Adams.
Ashley is now a lawyer on the West Coast and just moved into a new home and could not be with us tonight, but I had a chance to talk with her about a week ago about tonight's honor.
Thanks so much for being able to take time, and congratulations. What does it feel like to be able to sign your name, Ashley E. Adams, Hall of Famer?
Thank you so much. I don't know. It's like I feel like it's been such a long time, and I feel like I still kind of like identify as an athlete, and like that was such a big part of my life. And I feel like when you graduate, you still introduce yourself for a long time as like, oh, I played volleyball or whatever. So it's like to bring it full circle, to bring it back around is really cool. I'm definitely very honored.
Well, tell folks a little bit about what you're doing now, and how you found yourself out on the left coast.
Yeah. So I'm originally from California, moved around quite a bit as a kid, so ended up in St. Louis and got recruited out of there to play at MTSU. After I graduated, I went to law school. I worked in NCAA compliance for a long time for some different universities. Moved back to California in 2011, I think, and then have kind of gone around the state, San Francisco, San Jose, LA. And now I'm doing what everybody in California does, working for a startup, a software startup in the fitness industry. So I get to do that remote life and work from home.
Do you are you still able to fuel those competitive juices at all with playing in any adult volleyball leagues?
I did for a long time. Definitely when I moved back to California, I started playing a lot on the beach. And volleyball's weird. It's like one of those sports where people want to play like on the beach or for fun. They're like, "Oh, let's get a game and let's play." And I'm like, I don't really play like that. I don't want to play for fun. Like I want to play like a competitive game to win. So yeah, I definitely played for a while. I wouldn't say that I am the first call when people want to have a friendly volleyball game that they think of me. I'm like, it's still very competitive for me, but yeah, I spend a lot of time in the gym and just kind of still trying to find that. I started running like marathons, just still trying to find that athletic competitive aspect that I love.
Well, part of that was what made you such a great player, and when you combine your ability and your competitive fire with others who were your teammates during that time, that 3-year period that you played at Middle is one of the best, most successful periods
of collegiate volleyball that has ever been here, and you were a big part of that. So kind of talk about how those teams came together with Matt and Jeff, and as we also celebrate the life of Matt and
Yeah.
Matt Peck, and what a incredibly gifted coach he was.
Yeah, when I first got there, it was Matt's, second year coaching. So that first year they had like, some good success, but it wasn't anything like crazy. You could kind of see like the direction that he was gonna take the program. And so I think when I came in that first year, we had a super small it was just me and Ashley Asbury, I think, were the only like incoming freshmen really, Katie, Brush. So it was like we had a really small class, and I just think like they kind of had a chip. Matt and Jeff had a chip on their shoulder, and it kind of that like trickled down to all of us, where it was like no one really has any respect for our team. They like kind of overlook us. They don't think much of us when they're watching game film. It's like, oh, we're just a blip on their schedule, and I think that we all kind of took that personally. And that first year was a grind. Like their goal was like we were not a big team, we were not a tall team, so we were like we were going to be the most athletic team out there. And so our conditioning and all of that was like really on point. And because we were a smaller team, their whole philosophy was like, let's run a really, really fast offense. Because if we can't get around the block, then we're going to have to like just beat the block. So we just went like we took it to the furthest level you could as far as like running a fast offense. And I know that a lot of other programs like talk to Matt and Jeff after that year, like, how did you run this program or this offense so quickly? And it was like we just really bought into that. It's like, all right, yeah, we're kind of small, we're like kind of scrappy, but like we're gonna be really fast and we're gonna be really aggressive. So after that first year, like we had good success, but I think the turning point was we had the Sun Belt champion. Well, we used to be in the Sun Belt. The
Hmm.
conference championship was at Middle in
Hmm.
the AMG, and so that was my freshman year. So it was like to start off with the conference championship like at home was crazy. And we had Alicia and we had Andressa, and we were playing Western in the finals, and we were ahead in the fourth set. And like it's like I don't even remember. It's like I kind of have blocked this memory out, but we were ahead and they came back and beat us in the fourth. And a lot of times we just remembered like that's how we lost. We actually went to a fifth set and we lost that. And Matt had to stay out there while Western was like awarded their like championship trophy, and we had to just stand there and like watch them on our home court like accept this trophy that like was so close, like was in our reach. And that I think was the point where we were like that's just not going to happen again. Like that was it. And so we took summer conditioning super serious. We were all there, we like bought in. And then so my sophomore year and junior year we were just like locked in, that we didn't like when we went into games we were like were we just knew we were going to beat you. Like there was no like, oh, I wonder how, like we were so confident and so aggressive and so like, so that freshman year losing that championship actually ended up being like a great thing for us moving forward. And then sophomore year we made it to the NCAA tournament. My junior year we made it to the Sweet 16. So it was really cool.
Yeah, and it it set you all set up success. You mentioned Ashley Asbury. Now when you have two young ladies who come in as freshmen, and now you're both in the Hall of Fame. It's pretty easy to see that you two were some of the cornerstones of some great successful years. Uh, you decided to go to law school after your junior year. Was that a hard decision to make?
Yeah, it was one of those things where because I had been in school like all every summer, like it just I had gotten to that point where I was like, I am ready to like move into like the next stage. And once I decided to go to law school, it was like kind of felt like if I don't do this now, like I look back now and I wish I would have taken like a gap year, like traveled for a year. But at that point, I was like, if I don't go to law school right now, I'm never going to go back to school. Like, I want to just like have this done. So it was definitely hard to like leave the team, leave my friends, and like start that new chapter. But at that point, it just felt like this was the next step in the journey that like I had to take. So um yeah, it was difficult. I feel like I missed out on like my senior year and what we could have, potentially accomplished that next year. But um I'm still really proud of like how we ended my junior year, making it to the Sweet 16. And so that's still like my favorite memory of my entire career.
Tell us about how the things that were put in place uh, from an athletic standpoint in in your life and in your career, and in particular what you gained at middle, has helped you in your professional life.
Um I think, and I feel like I've said this in like every job interview I've had like since I graduated, was just the work ethic and the time management and the ability to work with all kinds of people. You play on this team and you have people from all different backgrounds, and you just become one family. Like, you learn how to communicate in, different ways with different people. And it's like you just get that experience through sports that I don't think you get in life just going to school and whatever. So I think that's a huge part of just like being really like open to all kinds of people and from different backgrounds, and just getting a chance to like learn from different people. So I think that's really important moving forward. Just like I feel like I can walk into a room and no matter what, like I can talk to everybody there, because we're all so unique, and it just gives you that confidence to share your story and learn from other people. I think the discipline and the work ethic and the time management that we had, definitely like my 3 years there. Like Matt and Jeff were really strict as far as what we were doing with our time and our free time. And at the time, I don't you're in college and you want to, kind of like push those boundaries and like see how far you can go. And I think it just instilled in me that like, yes, there is a time for fun. But like if you really want to accomplish something, like that requires sacrifice. Um, and our goal was to be the best team we could possibly be. And so that meant, yeah, no, like late nights and partying and those things that you do in college, like that just kind of, it made you realize like you can really, if you set a goal and like you really want it, like there are just things that you have to do to get it done. And so to do that and to go through and like really like put your social life and stuff like on the side for this like one goal, and then to see it like come to fruition is really cool.
And to share it with others had
Oh
to
my
be
gosh, yeah,
terrific.
yeah.
And thank you for sharing with us, because you now leave a great legacy, and you're one of less than 200 people who can say that they're in the Blue Raider Hall of Fame. We're so very proud of you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's definitely an honor, and I've talked to all my teammates, and it certainly wasn't an effort on my own. Like I couldn't have done it without the coaches and my team. So yeah, I'm definitely honored, and I want to share this with all of them.
Let's give her a nice round of applause. And we'll be making sure that her plaque gets to her out in California very soon. Our next inductee this evening will be number 193 in the Blue Raider Hall of Fame, Ann Dudley.
Ann Dudley, one of Middle Tennessee's most decorated track and field athletes, Ann Dudley capped a prolific career as a 4-time NCAA All-American and 5-time Sun Belt Conference high jump champion. She dominated the indoor high jump with 3 consecutive titles from 2011 to 2013 and added 2 outdoor crowns to her name. Dudley won 23 high jump events during her collegiate career, along with 3 victories in the 55-meter hurdle races and a shuttle hurdle relay title. She reached the podium in 8 Sun Belt Conference championship events and was named the 2013 Sun Belt Indoor Championship Outstanding Field Performer. At the 2013 Sun Belt Indoor Championships, Dudley cleared 1.87 meters. That's 6 feet, 1.5 inches, a mark that still stands as the MTSU Indoors school record. She also made history at the prestigious Penn Relays, becoming one of just 8 women ever to win back-to-back high jump titles. Her winning leap of 1.84 meters in both 2012 and 2013 marked the first repeat champion in the high jump in 8 years and remains tied for the 3rd best mark in Sunbelt outdoor history. She is one of only 3 women in the 2000s to win consecutive Penn Relay high jump titles. Ann Dudley.
And here she is. Hello. Come on, have a seat over here. Well, she also wins the fashion show tonight, too. There's no question about that. Let's check the fit. You're all good? We're all good. Have a seat, Ann. Great to see you back here. We saw you in competition on the video. We saw you at the Raiders' Choice Awards. We saw you in the Penn Relays. You had quite a college experience here, didn't you?
I had a great experience at Middle Tennessee State University. My 4 years here was amazing. It definitely molded me to who you see today and what my career has been as well. And it's funny because it taught me how to be resilient as well. So MTSU gave me a lot. I almost lost my scholarship, actually. Dean Hayes almost let me go my freshman year, y'all. So, but I had to come back.
Aaron's nodding over there, so yeah.
But yes,
The question is, what did you do?
Dean Hayes recruited me from Jacksonville, Florida, at my state track meet, and I stand 5'11", and I jumped 5'10" my senior year in high school. My freshman year, I couldn't jump over 5'2". I don't know why. Mentally, I couldn't get it. And Dean Hayes was like, I don't know if this is what we spend this money on, and it's for our scholarship. And
Out-of-state tuition, all that stuff.
And what saved my butt was when we had that conversation that was going to be my fate, is to, all right, and you got to take this more seriously. So after that conversation, something clicked that I got second at our outdoor conference in North Texas, and I saved my butt by jumping 5'6". So I said, okay, we're getting somewhere. And that's what saved me to come back and do a second year.
4-inch difference within one season. That's big.
Mental toughness, and that's what he taught us. He taught us mental toughness, and I still carry that.
Yeah, well, and, and whenever, we're fortunate all the track people who we've had, have had that connection with Coach Hayes and Ray Bonner, and now you younger ones with Keith Roman as well. And we're in great hands. And Thomas back there, I see Thomas back up against the wall, who's been there for all you guys throughout all the years. What made what they did special, and how was it that they brought out the best in student athletes?
They brought out their best by opening us to be outside the box. Like, I thought I was just going to be a high jumper. And Coach Hayes, I don't know if y'all realize, he gonna make you do everything possible. If you got 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 arms, and you can sprint, he gonna make you do 5 events to get you ready for the next level. And so TK, Andrew, Keith, they brought out something to say, hey, I know this is what you are comfortable with doing, but you gotta step outside that comfort box, and I need you to try to do this. So each of my coaches pushed me to where I'm like, I cannot do this. I can't jump off no wooden box. I can't jump backwards and bend and do all this crazy stuff. And then next thing you know, when I started to really get those conversations and really understand that when you're comfortable in just doing the same old, same old. To get better, you have to step outside of that. So each of them definitely brought out to just get outside of the box and do just a little bit better, even though it might feel a little unusual.
Outside of the high jump, what other things did he want? Did he try to get you into the triple jump?
Yes.
Okay, he tried to get everybody in the triple jump.
Triple jump, long jump, multis. The multi-event is doing 5 events in 1 weekend. So
you got to get points.
Okay, so
it's all about points.
And we did just that. Before we went to OVO, we were still in Sunbelt. Middle Tennessee State were dominated by WKU. And that year, 2012, we won the Sunbelt. My team members are still in here. And we won the Sunbelt Indoor Conference, and I had to do, in total, 12 events that weekend. I said, Dean Hayes, don't talk to me after this, okay? But because I was a workhorse and it was getting just everybody to do everything past what they think they can do, we won that indoor championship with like only 14 people on the team. And WKU, y'all, I don't know if everybody realized, WKU had like 40 plus on their team. And it was a small team, but we were very mighty. And Dean Hayes made sure to put us in as many events as possible that everybody was capable to do. And we won. And I'm gonna tell you that, because that banner is still in the Murphy Center, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
Sure is. So, yeah.
Not going anywhere.
It's not going
In addition to what your college career,
Yes.
he prepared you to compete on the world stage.
Yes.
Talk about some of your experiences in international competition.
So I was able to qualify for the 2012 Olympic trials. And that was an amazing experience, and I made the final. So I was number 8, and then high jump is literally like this much of keeping you from making a team. It's about this much. But it was a learning experience to take that back from 2012, like, oh, you are up here with the big leagues and you can be. And that mental toughness had to kick me up a level to be in an amazing competition, NCAA 2013 indoor, where to get to place number 8, you had to jump 6'2". And that was a great competition. So being in the Olympic trials 2012, making that final amongst some amazing women, and almost getting there, it was a good experience. And I'm thankful to Dean Hayes to let me go to that track and field meet.
What did your experience as a student athlete here at this school, how has it affected you and your life since then?
Middle Tennessee, so I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. So for me, Tennessee was not in the roadmap. Coming from Florida, like, where's Tennessee? Where's this at? So when I got here, it introduced me to a number of people from different backgrounds and people traveling. Like, Dean Hayes had us in Idaho. He had us in everywhere possible. So it introduced me to my mental toughness, that I had to carry that as an adult, have to carry that as a woman, as a young, and even as a mentor, as I coach high school girls to this day. So it taught me to be in rooms with a lot of people, to explore different parts of the world that I never thought that I would be able to go to, and being able to just say, hey, it's a lot more out here than where your hometown is. And MTSU gave me that piece of that mental toughness, a bigger world outside of what I thought, and that right there.
How about that? How about that? Well, we're so glad you came home on this homecoming weekend, and we're so grateful for what you gave as a student athlete, and we're very proud of you by telling you that you, Ann Dudley, are a Hall of Famer.
I am a Hall of Famer.
Good to see you. It's too bad you guys don't get to hear these conversations that go on up here. Ann Dudley, everybody. Our next inductee is on the road with his Chicago Bears, but it doesn't take very long to look up on the press box to see what kind of impact he had on this program. The 194th member of the Blue Raider Hall of Fame is Kevin Byard.
Kevin Byard, one of the greatest defenders in Blue Raider history. Kevin Byard was a 2-time first-team All-Conference USA selection and a 4-year starter who played in 49 games. He forced or recovered 25 turnovers and is one of just 9 Blue Raiders to record over 300 career tackles. He helped MTSU reach bowl eligibility in all 4 seasons he wore the blue and white. As a freshman, Byard made an immediate impact in the battle for the Palladium, forcing 3 turnovers against Troy, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, 6 tackles, and a pass breakup. His 77-yard pick six sealed the win late in the fourth quarter. In 2014, he led Conference USA in interceptions and ranked 7th nationally. As a senior in 2015, he delivered 8 tackles, a TFL, and an interception against number 2 Alabama. Then later that season added a 76-yard punt return touchdown against Old Dominion on national television. Byard, a Conference USA Hall of Fame member, still holds school records for career interceptions, interception return yards, and pick sixes. The first Blue Raider ever drafted in the top 3 rounds, he became an NFL star, leading the league in interceptions in 2017 and earning All-Pro and Pro Bowl honors. His number 20 jersey was retired in 2022, joining Hall of Fame Teddy Morris as one of only 2 retired numbers in Middle Tennessee football history. Kevin Byard.
Well, as I mentioned, with his NFL schedule, they're on the road, and I had a chance to talk with Kevin about this honor tonight. Let's take a look. Kevin Byard, new Hall of Famer in the Blue Raider Hall of Fame. How does that roll off the tongue for you?
Man, it's still surreal in a way. I talked about this before, but when I stepped on campus at MTSU, man, I didn't set out to be necessarily be a Hall of Famer, right? I just wanted to come in, earn the trust of my teammates and my coaches by working my butt off. And that was really that was really the thing. I had my head down, I just worked my behind off, wanted to become a starter, wanted to go out there and make some plays. We wanted to, win a conference championship, go to a bowl game. And, 4 or 5 years later, I look up, man, and I had, a bunch of records and things like that. So it's still surreal. I'm still living my childhood dream. So I just been blessed beyond measure.
For folks who don't know, tell them in kind of a Reader's Digest version how you ended up at MTSU.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible, like you said, but my recruiting story was pretty crazy. Basically, I had an offer from the University of Kentucky, and they basically strung me on along the way of recruiting, and they basically had told me like, hey, the recruiting, like their spots. So I was gonna play receiver at Kentucky, and they were telling me, hey, they're almost maxed out with their receivers for this recruiting class, but it's a guy that maybe not be able to, I guess was eligible because of his grades. So then I still took a visit there, went there with my father, and Coach Joker Phillips, who was the coach at the time, told me, he was like, listen, it's this kid that's committed to Alabama. We're trying to get him to decommit and come to Kentucky. And so, but it basically just said it was between you two guys. And so I woke up the morning of signing day still not knowing where I was going to go. And so the good thing about it is that Coach Stock was still recruiting me the entire time. He was the only coach that actually showed up to my high school. And he told me, he said, KB, listen, well, he called me Kevin at the time, but he was like, Kevin, if Kentucky comes through with this offer, I think you should go to Kentucky. I would tell you to go play football at Kentucky, but if it doesn't work out, come play safety for me at MTSU. And I think that always kind of stuck out to me, just obviously him being one of the only coaches that actually came to my school. But we developed a great relationship. Obviously, I took my visit there. And so luckily, Coach Stock sent the hat for me on signing day. So once I got the call in the morning of signing day that I wasn't going to be able to go to Kentucky, MTSU was always there. And it's for like I said, it's funny because I was going to play receiver in Kentucky and I played safety at MTSU. So God works in mysterious ways, and it all worked out perfectly.
It really did, and you the royal blue was going to look good on you wherever you ended up. But of course, well, and I've told you this before. You're the all-time leader in interceptions, but still, I think your NFL career and your opportunities might have been enhanced on a national television game at Old Dominion, where you
Mm,
got put out there on special teams one night, kind of out of a need, and
right.
all of a sudden you ran about 187 yards on a punt return and ended up in the end zone. But that's, to me, that's still one of the biggest plays, but because it told me you were willing to do whatever needed to be done to get the win.
Absolutely. It's funny because I remember during that week in practice, we were doing special teams, and Costa, we were basically practicing a situation where the quarterback, who was Taylor Heineke, who's obviously a quarterback in the league now still, they would do like this pooch punt on fourth down where they'll keep their offense on the field, but he'll just punt the ball. So I guess they won't, obviously it'd be tougher because they usually don't send a returner back there because the defense still on the field. So Coach basically told me like, hey, if we get in this situation, if it's fourth and long and they keep the offense out there, they're going to punt it. I want you to get back there and return it. And so obviously I get back there and I kind of got back there a little late and I kind of misjudged the punt. and I ended up catching it on the bounce, and I think I took it like 70 something yards. It was pretty crazy. I actually had a really good game that game. Caught
You
an
did.
interception as well. So yeah, fun times at MTSU.
Yeah, it was. You're always been known not for just your play, but for things, character issues, and going about your business the right way, and being a great example for others. And you know, is that what you hope your legacy inspires to others as they come to this campus?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing about sports and football and just being a man of character, I think stats, obviously my record and all these things, um eventually, I mean, I hope it'll take a long time, but eventually records get broken, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing that lives the longest is how you impact people and how you make people feel when they're around you. And that's something that I've always just wanted to do. Obviously, Coach Stock was my head coach there the whole time. One thing that I took from him that he really taught me is that I remember he will always say, and obviously you've been around Stock for a long time. Every time you walk by Stock in the hallway and he said how you're doing, and you ask him how he was doing, he was always say outstanding. And he would tell me that he said, listen, even if you don't feel great, and maybe your body's sore, you got some stuff going on. When you say the word outstanding, you say when somebody asks you how you're doing, you say I'm doing great. It kind of almost plays in your mind. It tricks your mind to say like, hey, even if the day isn't going well, you say outstanding. As long as you keep telling yourself I'm doing great, your day tends to get a little bit better. And so he
Spread
definitely
that to
taught me that
others.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
spread
taught me
that
that
to
for sure.
others. Yeah. What does it say about this program that there are two NFL captains right now, yourself and Reed Blankenship,
Mhm.
both playing in the secondary, I might add.
Right.
That right now there are two active NFL captains that have worn the Blue Raider uniform.
Yeah, number one, I would say we're definitely trending towards DBU. You know what I mean? Me, Reed, and obviously Travarius Ward, who's in Indianapolis now.
Yeah.
He's in the league as well. But no, man, it just speaks to the fact that coming from MTSU, man, you can make it to the NFL. You can be a Pro Bowler. You could be a captain. You can become a highest paid at your position and earn a contract to take care of your family. All you got to do is go there and put the work in. And I think that just speaks to everybody that's there right now and who's going to obviously step on campus that, hey, you can accomplish all your dreams and your aspirations at MTSU because it's a great place to be. Obviously, having a new the Students Performance Center being opened up, that's going to open up tremendous doors of just athletes being able to recover better, just having a really good central location with a great weight room and all that stuff. So, yeah, MTSU is where you can accomplish everything.
You talk about getting that daily work in. As they do that in the Kevin Byard Strength and Conditioning Center, they're going to see your name. They're going to see your legacy every day when they're putting that work in. What does that mean?
It's so important. That's for my children. You know what I mean? That's for my family. Uh, I always say that I always want to, every place I've ever been and that I'm going to be, I want to be able to make it better. And so kind of the same things going on in my high school as well. I'm on the weight room there, but it's a legacy thing, and I want to be remembered not only just for the plays on the field, but how I impacted the people that was around me. I think that's the stories that I would rather be that's told versus then obviously the stats is going to be the numbers and things like that. But how you impact people is the most important thing.
Well, one other thing you're going to be remembered for is you're now a member of the Blue Raider Hall of Fame. We're so proud of you.
I really appreciate it, Chip. Like I said, it's a huge honor. I'm blessed, and obviously congratulations to all the other inductees. And it's just a special moment, and it's something that we will ever forever remember and cherish for sure.
All right, Kevin Byard, everybody. Little inside baseball. If you remember the first week of the NFL season, the Bears played on Monday night and played Minnesota, and physical game. That interview took place the next afternoon, and he had already been in the facility and gotten a 2-hour massage and all of that. So he said he was pretty sore that day that he did that. But KB is always there for us. So congratulations to him going into the Hall of Fame. Our final inductee this evening, number 195 in the Blue Raider Hall of Fame. Take a look at Warren Kidd.
Warren Kidd, known as one of the most dominant big men in Blue Raider history, Warren the Big Cat Kid still remains a force in Middle Tennessee and NCAA record books. In just 3 seasons at Middle, he was a 3-time All-OVC pick, twice first team, and a 1991 All-Tournament honoree. The only player in program history with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds at MTSU, Kidd led the nation in 1993 with 14.8 boards per game, still 17th all-time in the modern NCAA era, and he also ranks 10th all-time in NCAA history for a single-season field goal percentage of 70%. He holds the school record for career field goal percentage at 66.4% and is first all-time with 185 blocks and recorded 53 career double-doubles. As one coach said, Warren thinks every ball that goes up belongs to him. Kidd played 68 games for the Philadelphia 76ers as an undrafted rookie, spent 6 seasons in Europe, and was a finalist for the 1998 USA Basketball World Championship team. Warren Kidd.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Big Cat, Warren Kidd.
All right, Warren. Who was the first one to ever call you the Big Cat? Or did you bring that on yourself?
No, I did not. I want to say that was Mike Buck.
Mike Buck.
Yes, sir, it was.
Well, I think he was pretty accurate.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, we was at practice, and I'm a guy who always, everyone always thought I was just quiet, but I was at practice, and I got bored at practice. I started making little cat sounds and grabbing rebounds and stuff like that. So after that, he started calling me the Big Cat. So it kind of stuck with me. It's still sticking with me to this day.
Well, I had no idea.
That's how I was born.
We're plowing new ground here tonight. Talk a little bit about how you ended up here. Talk about your recruitment and the coaches you dealt with and how that all went down. People love those stories.
Well, I was recruited by Bruce Stewart, who's no longer with us. But he came to Harpersville, Alabama, which is a small town.
Where is Harpersville?
In Alabama.
I know. I know that. Is it near anything?
It's about 30 minutes from Birmingham, east side.
Okay, gotcha.
So he came there, and at the time I was a shy kid in a small town, and he came and saw me play, and he offered me a scholarship. So me being, quiet person, I wanted to go somewhere where I could grow up, become a little man, but at the same time, if I can get back home, I could get back home. So Murfreesboro was the perfect spot for me.
Yeah, and it really turned out to be the perfect spot. Talk about the guys who you were having to battle with when you got here as a freshman.
I would say the biggest person I had to battle with was Chris Ingram, and of course, my man Kerry Hammonds.
Big Kerry.
Yeah, he was. Kerry was a person I really looked up to. He was a person who I saw him play, and I admired how he played, and I tried to take it to the next level. I saw players who before me, and I tried to take it to the next level. And with Kerry help, and I hope I'd done that with.
Yeah, now Kerry was a great scorer, 1,000-point club, great rebounder, but there was a fire in you about rebounding the basketball. Where did that come from? Was that a high school coach? Was it somebody on Bruce's staff, or who lit that fire?
I guess that would be, I don't know who lit it, but I just felt like every ball was mine.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, I felt like I would literally just watch the ball come off the rim, and I would just go get it. No one could stand in my way going to get it.
Yeah, I was talking earlier with one of the inductees about going out, and Garth, we were talking about playing the power, the power schools and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one thing that Bruce also, you all played anybody, anywhere, anytime just about, and you guys played with an edge and with a little chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, with Coach Stewart, we had to. He put that in all of his teams, all the players that he recruited. He put that little edge in them, and he wouldn't accept nothing but that. So with that, and you knew Coach Stewart wasn't playing because if you didn't do what he wanted to do, you'd be outside running in the heat. But that heat was something special.
You know what? Now Bruce, for folks who know him, Bruce was kind of a baby-faced guy.
Yeah.
But as you say, there was some toughness inside of him that he made sure that he got out of you guys.
He did. He made sure he got it out of all his players. Of course, I think he was the one that started that, getting up early in the morning, running 2 or 3 miles. And man, that was something special. And, you had to be in class at 8 o'clock. So if you missed that first class, or if you was late at that first class, you had to get up. You had to come back that evening and run again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So you got to do it right the first time.
Yes, sir.
These guys over here, the men's basketball team over here who are here to support you tonight.
I appreciate it.
I think they had to hit Tiger Hill yesterday
Okay.
on the south side of town. And who did not make it on time? Oh, nobody's going to raise their hand. So I guess that means they were all just right. So what does it mean to you to be able to come back and see everybody, and in particular these young guys? You had a chance to talk to them early and kind of give them a nugget.
I mean, the one thing I could tell the kids is just put in the hard work, because hard work goes a long ways, no matter what part of life that you want to do. Being here at MTSU, that really puts that into me. But it really started with my mom and my dad, who put that work ethic in all of us. So it just kind of dwindled down to MTSU. But I would tell the young guys, just work hard, stay focused, and just keep working.
Your senior year, when did it become more than just a dream that you might be drafted in the NBA?
When I saw my name amongst the elite of basketball, when I saw my name up there with Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, all those guys who are Hall of Famers in the NBA, and coming from a small town like Harpersville, coming from MTSU, you'd be like, this guy is hanging in there with those guys. So seeing that in the newspapers and hearing that, it kind of, like you said, put that little fire in me to push it a little bit more.
It's like, this may happen.
True.
And it did. And you are, up until Isam Mustafa this year became a 1,000-point, 1,000-rebound guy, but he started his elsewhere before he finished, obviously, with a great final year here. You did all of that here on this campus, over 1,000 points, about 1,500 points, and over 1,000 rebounds. That's very, very special, and that's going to be hard for somebody to break.
Well, that's true. I mean, it was hard, but it can be broken. But
all right, you got into the NBA. You were with the Sixers.
Yeah.
Drop a few names that were on your squad at Philly.
The one name that really stands out to me was Moses Malone. If you guys don't know,
he was an okay post player.
He was very okay.
Yeah.
And he kind of guided me into the whole NBA thing. I mean,
he taught you how to be a pro?
Yes, sir, he did. And I remember one time, and I'm going to tell you this guy got up, swam 3-4 miles, got on the treadmill, ran 6 or 7 miles.
Moses Malone did?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And then went and played the game. So I'm like, man, this guy's doing this. So I'm like, shoot, I can do it too. I can't swim, but I got on the treadmill. And I got in the game. No, did not work for me.
Legs were gone.
Legs were shot. It did not work for me at all. I was like, no, I would not do that again.
So Moses was special.
He was very special. But he taught me a whole lot about the game of basketball and how to carry yourself as a professional and how to carry yourself as an athlete. I mean, one thing about being an athlete in a professional level, you got to maintain your physical, your everything about you. You got to maintain your body. So whatever you put in your body, you got to think, can I use this for fuel, or can I use this, can my body use this? If it can't use it, I would not put it in there.
Yeah, nutrition,
Yes.
conditioning, recovery.
Yes.
You had to get your sleep too, didn't you?
That was very important, very important.
After a year with the Sixers, you ended up and had a 10-year international career in Spain and Italy. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite stop in those two countries?
I would say in Milan, Italy. That was my favorite spot because there was a lot going on.
It's a big city.
It's a big city. And I would say Rome. Because I was in Rome for 3 or 4 years, and I would get out on Mondays, because Mondays was our free day. I would just go park my car and just walk. And everywhere I walked in Rome, you would see something different. You would see something new. And you'd be like, man, this place has been here for
3,000 years?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's still standing. And you go see the Colosseum, and you'd be like, now, how did they build this? And you'd be looking at this, you'd be like, man, this is amazing.
And you were from Harpersville,
I was
Alabama.
from Harpersville, Alabama, experiencing all of that.
I mean, it was amazing. We had the opportunity 2 years ago with the men's basketball team to go to Italy and play some games and go to Rome and
Yeah.
Florence and Milan, and it was really, really special. So I can understand how somebody like yourself could soak it all in
Yeah.
and do all that. That being said, and I've asked everybody who's come up here tonight, what did your experience here do to help you in your professional life?
Well, it gave me that edge where I knew I could handle, or I could compete with the big guys. Being here at Middle, you come with a different background, like other athletes have said, and you just apply yourself to take it to the next level. And you try to keep pushing it, and keep pushing yourself until you can't push yourself anymore. And then you lay down and get some sleep and say, I got to do this again. Yeah. I got to push myself again to get to the next level.
What are you doing these days?
I'm currently working for B.L. Harbert in the construction right now.
I got you. And are you playing any YMCA,
No.
elbows for lunch kind of
No.
ball, anything like that?
No, sir. It takes me too long to recover.
Yeah, understand that. What does it mean to be here tonight?
It means a lot. It means a whole lot. Like I said, from a small town that I came from, being a Hall of Famer here at MTSU means a whole lot. Never expected that, but I'm here. I'm blessed that I'm here. I thank everyone who put me in this situation, and I thank the guys who pushed me, and I also thank my family who stood behind me.
You've earned every bit of it. You're a Hall of Famer.
I appreciate it.
All right, Warren Kidd, everybody. Our class of 2025 is complete. Jerry Singleton, Garth Petrelli, Ashley Adams, Ann Dudley, Kevin Byard, and Warren Kidd. Let's give them all one more great round of applause. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. The new inductees, if you will, they want to get a couple of pictures right up here on the stage here in the next couple of minutes as soon as we wrap it up. But big day tomorrow. Glad everybody's in town. Join us at the parade in the morning, and then be sure to be in your seats early and be part of what's going to be a fun night here at Floyd Stadium tomorrow night. Thank you all for being here, everybody. Don't forget, be loud, be proud, be blue.